Well, thank you so much, Mariana. Muchas gracias a todos los que están asistiendo al seminario. Espero que sea de vuestro interés y que sea el primer impulso para comenzar este proyecto en Australia. Yo empiezo brevemente contando sobre quién es la AE, porque aquí en España realmente ya tenemos 12 años, pero se desconoce lo que es el agente educativo internacional. La Educación Internacional como tal es una organización que lo que se encarga es de representar a instituciones y universidades en el extranjero, como es el caso de UTAS, de las que estamos haciendo el seminario hoy, y lo que nosotros hacemos es ayudarlos asesorarlos en todo lo que necesiten para estudiar en el extranjero. ¿Vale? Digamos, aquí en este mapa se ve un poco cuáles son todos los destinos donde tenemos instituciones y nuestras certificaciones. Lo más importante, somos certificados por los gobiernos. Eso quiere decir que bueno, estamos preparados para asesorarlos y hacerles el visado, todo de la manera más profesional posible. Ya tenemos 22 años de experiencia, como les decía, aquí en España tenemos 12. Les voy a contar un poco sobre mí y cómo empezó esto, porque algunos se preguntarán qué hace Olga con este acento medio latino como directora de España, pero bueno, soy malagueña también. Y como les digo, la AE, ya tenemos 22 años de experiencia, puedes estudiar todos los tipos de cursos, desde un curso de inglés hasta tu doctorado, y somos representantes de más de 500 universidades e instituciones a nivel internacional. ¿Vale? Yo particularmente soy ingeniera civil, me gradué en Venezuela, soy malagueña, pero es verdad que muy jóvenes mis padres se fueron a Venezuela y ahí es donde hice yo mi carrera. Y antes de volver a España siempre le dije a mi padre que Londres estaba muy cerca, yo quería aprender inglés y que por qué no me iba a Australia. Así que cogí mis maletas, eso fue en el 2007, me fui solamente a estudiar inglés y me contrataron. Bueno, obviamente yo siempre les digo que no fue muy fácil, pero yo siempre tuve la intención y siempre buscaba decir que era I'm civil engineer, I'm looking for a job, y empecé a trabajar en un restaurante argentino, pero poco a poco me contrataron como ingeniera, principio como delineante, algo muy básico de mi profesión, y poco a poco crecí en la empresa y me ofrecieron un visado de trabajo con el que yo me quedé 4 años en Australia. Sin embargo, España siempre había sido mi sitio donde yo quería estar y es por eso que regresé en su momento. Me gusta enseñarles estas fotos porque, bueno, arriba es mi oficina, era nuestra oficina, bueno, Isabel, que era una de nuestras asesoras, que ahora no está porque también hizo su experiencia en Canadá. La foto que ven abajo, yo siempre les muestro, esta es una de las fotos que yo me tomé cuando estuve en la universidad, cuando estaba trabajando como ingeniera, porque aquí demuestra un poco de lo que es Melbourne y cuando trabajas esa multiculturalidad. Si te das cuenta, nosotros estaba trabajando en una consultora estructural, pero ninguno, o sea, teníamos el australiano, pero todos teníamos alguna mezcla. Entonces, dentro de un ambiente de trabajo que lo viví, yo siempre les digo que una de las cosas más bonitas que tiene Australia es esa receptividad a nivel laboral, ¿vale? Y bueno, después la otra foto es una vez que volví a España, siempre Australia había sido, o sea, a mí se me quedó el recuerdo tan bonito que empecé a ayudar a la gente de forma altruista, hasta que un día les dije a la yo creo que el español como tal no conoce la asesoría gratuita como la tiene la AE, me formé y bueno, parte de nuestra formación es con toda esa tristeza, pero viajar mucho para Australia para conocer a las universidades. Entonces, bueno, aquí es con mi equipo LAE de las demás oficinas que fuimos a hacer un viaje a Australia para la formación. ¿Y qué es lo que nosotros hacemos? Lo primero, escucharlos, saber qué es lo que quieren y qué es lo que necesitan, ¿vale? Y en base a eso, vamos a decidir dónde y cuándo quieren ir, revisar los costes del proyecto y las posibles becas, después trabajar en vuestra matrícula, en solicitar el visado, organizar todo lo que tenga el viaje, lo que es alojamiento, seguro, bueno, esos primeros días, cómo llegas al aeropuerto, y bueno, y poco más, prepararlos para que esa aventura sea lo más sencilla posible. Y una vez en Australia también estamos con vosotros porque tenemos oficinas. Aquí les pongo el Instagram de nuestras oficinas en Australia porque también hacen eventos diferentes, porque bueno, obviamente por uso horario no podemos tener los mismos eventos, pero también son muy, muy activos. De hecho, Mariana creo que ha hecho varios seminarios también con nuestras oficinas en Australia, porque no es solamente el que está aquí, sino una vez que llegas a Australia, muchas veces llegas con un curso de inglés y te das cuenta que quieres continuar tus estudios y tu formación, así que todo ese tipo de apoyo, una vez que te vas, también tienes ese apoyo del AE para continuar, ¿vale? Bueno, y comentándoles un poco sobre Australia, yo aquí solamente me gusta comentarles que Australia, decimos que es 2 veces Europa, y la población de Australia son 23 millones de habitantes, y solamente España somos 45 millones de habitantes. Entonces, aquí lo que quiero es darle una idea de la cantidad, o sea, de las posibilidades que pueden tener en un país tan grande como Australia, y bueno, es verdad que cada ciudad, cada estado tiene sus maravillas y sus pros y contras, pero en este seminario en particular quiero darle todo el protagonismo a Mariana y que hable sobre Tasmania y sobre Hobart y obviamente la universidad, ¿vale? Pero bueno, que podemos revisar todos los territorios de Australia. En cuanto a por qué estudiar en Australia, se los dije un poco en mi introducción, pero básicamente esa posibilidad de trabajar mientras estudias, el post-study work visa, todo eso lo vamos a hablar también con Mariana, la educación de calidad y el reconocimiento internacional que tiene y la población tan receptiva y multicultural. Bueno, aparte que depende de dónde vayas, el clima también es un factor bastante interesante si piensas en irte a Inglaterra o Australia, ¿no? Y el visado de estudiante, porque sea como sea, ustedes, muchos desconocen esos deberes y derechos que tenemos como estudiantes cuando estamos en Australia, y cuando tú estudias un máster o haces estudios superiores o un curso de inglés, siempre vas a tener la oportunidad de trabajar medio tiempo mientras estudias y tiempo completo en tus vacaciones. Y siempre vas a tener vacaciones al finalizar tus estudios, un mes de vacaciones a veces, pero bueno, si estudias en universidad realmente muchas veces tienes más de un mes de vacaciones al terminar tus estudios universitarios. ¿Ok? En caso que tengan pareja y sea una pareja estable, se pueda demostrar, también puedes incluir a tu pareja como dependiente de tu visado, lo que le daría a tu pareja esa posibilidad de trabajar, bueno, dependiendo del curso que hagas, pero si estamos hablando de educación superior, de un máster o un grado, tu pareja va a poder trabajar tiempo completo. Y renovar el visado sin tener que salir del país. Para eso están nuestras oficinas. O sea, si por X o por Y empiezan a estudiar y tienen que renovar visado, pues siempre estamos nosotros para estudiar, para ayudarles. Por último, lo que les comentaba, el Post-Study Work Visa, que también van a tener la oportunidad, después de terminar este visado estudiante, de solicitar el Post-Study Work Visa, que es un visado que te va a permitir quedarte en el país trabajando por 2 o 3 años, dependiendo de la duración, aunque las cosas creo que están cambiando tan rápido, y creo que ha habido no sé si hoy salió un comunicado que parece que han ampliado el Post-Study Work Visa. You have the information, right, Mariana? Good. Bueno, y por último, les quiero comentar o detallar un poco sobre esta noticia que estábamos esperando sobre las fronteras de Australia. Teníamos muchísimas ganas de dar esta información, muchísimas ganas de que por fin ya pudiéramos empezar a trabajar en esos proyectos en Australia, y bueno, como muchos sabrán ya, a partir del 1 de diciembre podrán viajar a Australia, pero no todos, ¿ok? Van a poder viajar aquellos que tengan ciertos tipos de visados. Yo he puesto aquí las más comunes para España, estas no son las únicas. Después de esta presentación les vamos a compartir un post del blog que hemos hecho donde van a poder ver cuáles son todos los tipos de visados y, digamos, todas estas lineamientos que necesitan para pensar en viajar a Australia. Lo más importante es eso, tener un visado válido, elegible, como dicen ellos, estar completamente vacunado con las 2 dosis de lo que son las vacunas reconocidas por el gobierno de Australia. Yo ahora tampoco se las he querido nombrar porque primero sé que esto es un proyecto que va a comenzar las cosas van a poder modificarse quizás en febrero, en marzo, cuando ustedes vayan, o sea que todo esto tenemos que tener siempre la información, digamos, más actualizada, pero también todo eso se los vamos a mencionar en el post, y proporcionar una prueba del estado de vacunación. O sea, lo que necesitamos es que, bueno, aquí lo conocemos, el certificado europeo del COVID, eso lo van a tener. Sí les digo que todas estas vacunas aprobadas realmente a los españoles no nos afectan tanto porque, bueno, las conozco y son las mismas. O sea, aquí nos han puesto la AstraZeneca, la Janssen, la Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, y esas son las que están aprobadas, ¿vale? Bueno, una prueba PCR, como les digo, esto yo creo que es muy importante, tanto esto como el tema de hacer cuarentena o no, que también lo veamos más cerca de vuestra fecha de viaje, ¿vale? Porque son cosas que van a estar variando y esta información es la que, digamos, puede salir ya para que si no van el 1 de diciembre, pero sé que muchos de los que estamos aquí estamos recopilando información para irnos más adelante, ya sea para febrero 2022. Entonces, lo que tenemos que estar, o sea, o lo que tienen que saber es que nosotros siempre vamos a tener esa información actualizada de última hora directamente del gobierno, y que en el momento que ya empecemos a preparar el viaje, pues vamos a tener ese checklist listo para que todo esto pues sea posible. Lo que sí es cierto, si algo se tienen que quedar desde ahora, es que tienen que estar completamente vacunados. Si han tenido COVID y nada más tienen una dosis, que aquí en España pasa que no te quieren dar más, pues no, tenemos que buscar la manera de que estén completamente vacunados, pero bueno, que ya hemos tenido estudiantes para Canadá, que les ha pasado eso y lo hemos podido solventar, así que no se preocupen, ¿vale? Y bueno, poco más, no me quiero extender mucho, quiero darle el protagonismo a Mariana y que nos cuente un poco más sobre la universidad, sobre las opciones para empezar a preparar estos proyectos para el 2022 de los estudiantes. Ok, ya, vale, me están mandando, bueno, si tienen alguna pregunta, muy bien, perfecto. Los que se están informando para los hijos, que tenemos más de un padre aquí. Aprovecho ahora, lo que voy a hacer es, voy a dejar de compartir la pantalla, ¿ok? Y Mariana, yo creo que puedes compartir la pantalla ya, avísame.
Okay, hopefully you can see it.
Ok. Perfecto.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Olga. Oh my God. First of all, thank you. Thanks to LAE for organizing this amazing session. Well, we are really pleased to be here and talk not only about the University of Tasmania, but some very useful information for you that is considering going to Australia and studying with us, or like Marcos that is inquiring for his son. So just to give you a bit of background, my name is Mariana and I am originally from Brazil. That's why I can pick a bit of the Spanish that Olga was talking there. I lived in Australia for the past 8 years. I lived in Melbourne as Olga. And the last 2 years, I had the pleasure to live in Tasmania, in Hobart, the capital city of Tasmania. While I was living during these last 2 years, I always worked for the University of Tasmania. And in pretty much 6 months ago, a bit less than 6 months ago, I moved to Ireland. So now I'm based in Europe. So at some point, probably of your stage of some stage of your application process, I'll be probably in touch with you just to make sure that you're having an application really smoothly with us, along with LAE as well. So yes, today some of the topics that we will discuss is obviously who we are, who the University of Tasmania is. I want to talk a bit about Tasmania as a destination because not many people probably know where Tasmania is. Not many people know what to expect from Tasmania. And it is an amazing place. So I really want to make sure that I can share this information with you today. I will also talk about some of the disciplines that you can study with us. Some areas that we believe that can be very, very good for you to pick from in terms of employability. I know a lot of students want to know about scholarships, our becas, so I'll definitely cover that as well. And by the end, we can return into that information in terms of how you can travel to Australia, how you can travel to Tasmania to make sure you can start your studies with us on campus. Feel free to put your questions at any time in the chat. I'm happy to answer you throughout the whole presentation. But really starting with the University of Tasmania itself. So we are a really traditional university. We are the only university in the state of Tasmania. We have more than 130 years old. So because we are the only university in the state, we do have this very, very fundamental role in shaping the social, cultural, and economic future of the state. That really means that if you're coming to study with us, you won't only be gaining a degree, you will have really a real access to unique industry partnership. We have really, really strong connections with the community, with the government and the industry. So in fact, many companies, even the government, many times, if they do need people to work in such sectors, say, for example, maritime is definitely a big sector in Tasmania. They come to the university looking for students freshly graduated and offer job opportunities many times. So this is a big advantage, I would say, if you're studying in the University of Tasmania, if you're studying in Tasmania, compared to other states, bigger cities where Sydney, Melbourne, for example, where many times you have to compete with a lot of international students that are finishing their studies in different sort of universities. So this is definitely a big advantage there. We do have this special mission to make the difference for Tasmania and from Tasmania to the world. And this really reflects on the courses that we offer. So we are really strong in the research space. We'll definitely touch base a bit more in what sectors we can offer you qualifications and research. But anything that you can think under this STEAM sector, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, are definitely sectors that we are really strong and well known for. And this is also really because we have this very special location. We are an island. We are really well geographically talking. So in fact, we do have a lot of companies that are based in Hobart, the capital city of Tasmania, that are focusing maritime, marine, climate, Antarctic. We are the getaway for Antarctic. So we do have a lot of companies focused on that specific sector based in Hobart as well. And what we really like to say is that our whole island is the students' campus. So students, when they come to study with us, they are not only studying in a classroom, they are not only studying on the campus, they are also exploring a lot the whole island. Many times your work placements, your internship projects will be out and about of the campus as well. And just to let you know, this beautiful photo here that we have is from Hobart, the capital city. And you have Mount Wellington there at the back. So it's a huge mountain, 15-20 minutes far from the city, where you can definitely go and explore. So very touristic area on this city center that we have there. So when it comes to Tasmania itself, we really like to say that it is a living laboratory. So as I was saying earlier, because of the way that the island is geographically, the landscaping of Tasmania, students, they are really able to study many of those blue and green sciences courses that I was mentioning earlier. So it is quite unique compared to other states, other cities in Australia. And what I really like about Tasmania is the balance of life that you can actually find there. So it is definitely a place that can be small enough for you to feel welcome by the community. People very welcoming. You will be able to speak a lot of English because different from bigger cities such as Melbourne or Sydney, you do find, of course, international students, you find migrants, but way less than probably in those big areas. So you are able really to explore your English, but still it's large enough for you to have all the convenience that you would expect from a major city in Australia. bars, restaurants, cafes. We do have a lot of festivals that happen throughout the year. So just to name one, for example, we have the Dark Mofo. Dark Mofo is a festival that happens every year during winter time, so normally around June, July in Australia. And it is an event that stops the whole state, brings a lot of job opportunities, brings a lot of tourists to that area. And yeah, it is organized by Mona, which is a very contemporary museum that we have there as well. This photo here that you can see is from Salamanca. Salamanca is a suburb, and this is the Salamanca market, which happens every Saturday morning. An amazing and huge market that happens with a lot of local farmers. So you find a lot of interesting, really, really specific things from Tasmania in this market, which is beautiful. So as Olga was mentioning earlier, there are a couple of visas that you can apply for once you finish your studies in a university in Australia. Tasmania is considered a regional area, which basically means that the Australian government tries to bring international students, migrants, to those areas where are less populated than Sydney and Melbourne. So just the fact that you are studying with the University of Tasmania, a higher education qualification, a bachelor degree or a master degree, that can give you extra points if you are planning to apply for a post-study visa, a work visa, depending on the visa, of course, you want to apply for. But that also means that if you're applying for a work visa, you can actually get extra years just by the fact that you are studying in a regional area. So many times you will get a 2 years work visa once you finish your studies. In Tasmania, you can get 3 up to 4 years, so double of the time, just because you're studying there. So it depends if you're studying in Hobart, capital city, or if you're studying in Launceston, for example, which is the second biggest city in Tasmania in the northern part of the state. So we can discuss about that later if you have any question, but that's definitely a big advantage. So once you finish your studies, if you want to have that work experience, you want to explore your opportunities in Australia, this is definitely a good way for you to go for in terms of visa application. And I guess that 2 more points that I just want to emphasize about Tasmania, which can be quite attractive, is the opportunity really for you to explore outdoor activities. So if you are a person that really likes to outdoor activities, surfing, bushwalking, hiking, mountain bike, you name it. If you like to travel, definitely a place for you to consider studying, because we do have these amazing environments throughout the year where you can really breathe and, go outside and be relaxed. It's a really, really laid back atmosphere, a very safe environment. So definitely a place for you to consider, especially Marcus, for example, if you have your kids and you're sending your son there, definitely a safe place for you to consider. And the last point really I want to talk about Tasmania is the cost of living. So we tend to say that Tasmania can be around 30% cheaper than living in major cities such as Melbourne or Sydney. I live myself in Melbourne, so I can make this comparison between Melbourne and Hobart. You absolutely save a lot of money living in a place like Tasmania. It is the cost of living in general, groceries, accommodation, even the activities, depending, of course, on your lifestyle, what you like to do as an activity. But, I used to, me and my partner, me and my husband, we used to have a camper van. So every weekend we used to go and explore a different place, a different beach, or, travel around. So it was a great way for us to explore the whole island, but still save a lot of money. So definitely an option there as well, if you want to consider that aspect as well. Well, so you might be asking yourself, what courses, what areas can I actually go for and apply at the University of Tasmania? So here are the disciplines, the areas of studies that we can offer you. So that ranges from health, medicine, definitely a big one for international students. Under health, we also have pharmacy, we have nursing, psychology, biomedics, sports and science, just to name a few. Business and law, again, very strong sector among international students, education, humanities, social science, creative arts and design, again, very strong sector among international students. And then the last two ones that I was talking earlier, the blue and green sciences, so science, technology, engineering, earth, sea, Antarctic, and environment. So all those qualifications there, all those sectors there, you will have undergraduate, bachelor qualification, honors, and postgraduate qualification, a master's degree, or even a PhD, depending on the sectors that you want to go for. So yeah, 100 plus courses under undergraduate, more than 150 courses under the postgraduate sector. So pretty sure that we will be able to find something that you might be interested in studying with us. I have a couple of slides here just to talk about certain areas that I believe that can be quite strong for you if you're like undecided on what exactly you want to go for. These are definitely some of the options that we can see as great job opportunities outcome by the time you finish your studies with us. So under the health sector, the Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, which we also call MBBS, this is basically the medicine program that many students are interested in. This is a 5 years qualification, and basically you in Australia, you have two different sort of intakes, start dates. So usually it will be either February or July. Okay, so these are the two main semesters that we have. For medicine and for nursing, which is just above the medicine course there, we only have once a year. So basically you can only start in the beginning of the year. If you miss the February intake, then you have to apply for the next year. But as I was saying, this is a 5 years qualification where in your first 3 years, you will be on campus doing a lot of practical components, but mainly on campus. And then the last 2 years, you will be doing all your practical components. So you will be actually in hospital doing your placements. However, the beauty of this course is that in your first year already, you will be already doing professional practice placements. So you will be having face-to-face interaction with real patients. A great way for you to start a qualification for sure. So the great point of this qualification is that we do have 100% of our graduates, of our students, they are able to find internships. Whether if they are studying in Hobart or if they go to Launceston or if they go to rural areas, it is definitely a qualification where students, they don't have any issues in finding job opportunities. So those internships many times, even before they finish their studies, they are already turned into full-time job positions. Obviously, you have to do your practical components before you can graduate. But it is just a matter of completing those points so you can actually go ahead and find the job opportunity. The second course that I wanted to talk under the health sector is the Bachelor of Nursing. Again, only offered once a year, but this qualification we have in two different structures. Normally, the Bachelor of Nursing is a 3 years qualification. However, you can do that qualification in fast track. That's how we call it, the accelerated version, which is 2 years. So instead of doing 3 years, we squeeze you in 2 years. It's the exactly same qualification. You will be able to work on the exactly same way. It's just that you're doing a bachelor in 2 years, which sometimes students, they do appreciate to have, a quicker qualification so they can start working in the industry faster. I guess that this is all around the world, but really in Australia, health is one of the biggest sectors that we have. Probably health and construction, I would say the civil sector as well. So we do have that information from the Tasmanian government that there is this steady growth forecast for registered nurses by 2032. So that really means that if you're coming next year or if you're coming in 2023 to study with us, you will absolutely have a lot of job opportunities in Tasmania once you graduate as well. I have two more courses that I want to touch base. One is the Marine and Antarctic Science, which we offer under bachelor and the master degree level. It depends really on the major you want to go for. So you can pick one of those majors that we have listed there: Marine and Antarctic Governance, Marine Biology, Marine Resource Management, oceanography, and sustainable aquaculture. But again, what I really want to emphasize here is the opportunity that students, they really have, not only for work placements, but also for research projects. And that is not only with the university, that is also outside of the university with business, non-government organizations, and as well as research centers. As I was saying earlier, because we are quite well positioned in terms, geographically talking, in terms of Antarctic, we are the getaway for Antarctic. We do have a lot of companies working based in Tasmania, and they look for those students who are studying those qualifications with us. And then last but not least, engineering. I know that this is also a huge sector for international students. So here's the list of specializations you can go for. That goes from civil and structural, electronics and communication, mechanical engineering, renewable energy and electrical power, and the most recent specialization that we have added, the timber design. So this timber design is the only graduate qualification offered in Australia. So we are the very first university that offers this timber design focused qualification. So that goes from design to erection of commercial and residential timber buildings. So students, they will learn. Hi, Elena, I guess that you are, if you can put yourself on mute, we can actually hear you. Thank you. And again, big point there is the opportunities of employment that students, they can have. So almost 75% of our students, when they finish their studies with us, they are able to find full-time job opportunities. So I guess that what I'm trying to say here during this whole presentation about all these qualifications that we offer is really not only about the rankings, coming to study in an amazing university, you know, with a lot of rankings, and but the point is, we do have a lot of connections with the industry. So students, they are able to find full-time employment quite easily when they complete their studies with us. And that is probably the main point really for international students. Like Olga was saying, you know, if you come from a different sort of background, many times you come with, you know, a different level of English, and you might think with yourself, okay, what sort of job opportunities am I able to find when I finish my studies, or when I'm studying in Australia? So if you pick the right course, if you dedicate yourself, you know, if you make the right connections during your studies, if you take the advantage of doing corporate internships, all the support that the university many times can give for international students, I guarantee you that you will be able to find great job opportunities in Australia. Before I wrap up for the Q&A session, for the questions, I want to just go through a couple of these scholarships that we can offer you. I won't talk about all scholarships because we have a really long list, but I have just a couple of slides here of some of the scholarships that I believe that can be quite interesting for Spanish students. So the very first one is the English language scholarship, which means that if you want to study a bachelor or master degree with us, but for some reason your level of English is still not high enough, we can offer you 20 weeks of free English course prior doing your bachelor or master degree. So you will come with a package, basically 20 weeks of English plus a bachelor of, I don't know, information technology, or a master degree in agriculture, for example. So these 20 weeks are for free as long as you start your studies next year, okay? Dean of Merit, this is also a very popular scholarship that we offer. And this is in different sort of areas. And it can go from 25 up to 50% discount. So we have limited number of scholarships. We will always assess students automatically. So when you submit your application through LAE, you have to make sure that you also upload your academic documents, so your transcripts, for example, and then based on that, we will be able to let you know if you are eligible to get those discounts or not. So these can go from medicine, science and engineering, law, business and economics. So pretty much all sectors that we offer, you might find a scholarship there as well. If you are eligible, you will be able to have that scholarship throughout your studies. Okay, so that's available for your studies, as long as you can maintain the level of study, the grading points that you are having during those studies with us. The Tasmanian International Scholarship, definitely one of the most popular scholarships that we offer. We've been offering this for many, many years. This is a 25% discount on your tuition fees. Again, you will be automatically assessed, and this is only for the bachelor's and master's degrees that we offer. So again, you put your application in, we will assess you for any of those scholarships. And if you are eligible, you will see that in your offer letter, okay? Well, this was a brand new scholarship that we launched, and was before we get the news about the Australian borders. But this is for students who are starting their studies online with us. So say, for example, if you apply to study with us next year on February, and for some reason, I don't know, you cannot find flight tickets, or, you know, you couldn't organize yourself within enough time, and you will have to study maybe the first semester online from Spain, you can apply for this scholarship and it will be a 20% discount, okay? Well, last but not least, really, I guess it's just want to emphasize the information that Olga was giving you guys in terms of how this return to Australia, how the borders opening will work. Each state in Australia work in a different way. They work quite separately in terms of how they are bringing international students to their state. So most of states, they are bringing students from the 1st of December. Tasmania is allowing international students to come from the 15th of December. So as Olga was saying, basically, you will have to provide evidence that you have you're fully vaccinated, and the PCR test must be negative with 72 hours prior your departure from your country. If you do have those evidences, and obviously you have to have a visa, yeah? So if you're coming with a student visa, a work visa, you have to provide evidence of that. If you do have all those requirements, then that really means that you will not need to quarantine. You can come directly to Tasmania and start your studies from February next year. It is important to mention that Tasmania doesn't have an international airport. So that really means that when you're coming to study with us, you will have to go from an international flight into the mainland, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, any capital city. And then from one of those cities, you have a domestic flight to Hobart or Launceston, depending on where you're studying with us. I would recommend you to follow those two websites. The first one is the University of Tasmania, UTAS website. We do have that page where we are updating every week any sort of information and important information in terms of how it will work, this whole return to campus. And then the second website that I recommend you to also have a look is the Tasmanian government, where they are also updating all sort of information in terms of COVID, the travel restrictions, Australian borders, etc., etc. So follow one of those websites so you can get more information and accurate information, because as Olga said, we are getting updates pretty much every day. So you just want to make sure that you have the latest information there. I have finished my presentation. I'll stop sharing now. Hopefully we have more questions. But yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you are muted,
Yes.
Olga.
Well, we have, I think, Marcos, and we have another student that they were asking for information technology programs.
Oh, yeah.
I think with Thomas I talked today, and he was actually looking for options for mastering in data science. So all those programs, do you have it in UTAS?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and I was going to ask you if we're talking about bachelor degree level or if we're talking about a master degree level. But yeah, we do offer both qualifications under degree, so bachelor degree and the Master of Information Technology. So I'll start with the bachelor degree maybe. So we go from the lowest course to the highest course. So with the Bachelor of Information, what we have is Bachelor of Information and Communication Technology. So this is 3 years qualification, and we do offer this qualification in February, and we also offer this qualification in July. So when students, they apply for this course, well, they do have the professional recognition. And I guess that this is something across pretty much any public university that you will find in Australia. Students, they normally think about, oh, okay, how good is this qualification in those universities? So if you're coming to study in a public university in Australia, because we are heavily accredited many times, you know, it's to be able to put a course out there for international students, we have to go through so many eligibility criteria that yes, you will be definitely studying a high standard qualification. So when I say that the student have the professional recognition, the professional accreditation, that really means that by the time they finish their studies, they are able to just join straight away the industry. With the bachelor degree level, there are a couple of majors that the students, they can pick from. I'm not sure if you mentioned data science, but definitely that data science is one of the majors that we offer. I guess that another really strong one that we are offering nowadays is the artificial intelligence, getting really popular among the international students. But students, they can also go for business analysis, or if they want to focus in games and the creative technology as well, another really strong sector. So my recommendation would be maybe have a chat with Olga, see what exactly you are interested in. But yeah, you can always put your application in and then pick your major later. You don't have to do that straight away. And even if you decide now, you can also change if in the middle of the course you decide, well, that's not really what I was interested in. Maybe I want to do something different. You can always change those majors. And then the master. Yeah, please.
No, sorry. You can just finish with that. I just wanted to do a quick.
I was just. Yeah, okay. So I'll just quickly talk about the Master of Information Technology and Systems, which is quite similar to the Bachelor. It's a 2 years qualification. We offer that in February and July intake. So that is also offered during these 2 times of the year. And then again, students, they can pick from different sort of majors. With the master degree, we also have cybersecurity, for example, which we don't have in the bachelor degree level.
I actually wanted to do a question because I know maybe the student now, they are not thinking about it, but we have been talking about the cost of living that we know is a bit lower that if we compare with Melbourne or Sydney. But how about the possibility to work? How much do you roughly know how much the student can earn just, you know, working while they are studying? How is the
yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the minimum salary in Australia should be close to 20 Australian dollars per hour. So obviously, if you are coming to study in Australia, legally you can work 20 hours per week or 40 hours fortnightly while you're studying, and then you can work full time when you're on your holidays, on your study breaks. So obviously it will depend on what exactly you're applying for, what sort of job opportunities you're looking for. But I would say that at least the minimum average, that's what you should be earning as an international student. If you're applying, say, for example, to work in hospitality, or if you want to work, I don't know, with construction or anything, you know, that can be considered a general labor job. But of course, if you do come with background, if you do come with level of English, if you might be able to apply for certain positions in office job, for example, or even if you do have an engineering background, as maybe we have some students here that might have, or, you know, if you have a business background, and you may be able to apply for certain job positions that are a bit higher, you will definitely be expecting to earn a bit more than that.
Okay. Yo creo que para terminar, les quiero también compartir alguna información, a ver si no se me va, sobre las becas que hay en España, también para estudios en el extranjero. Yo siempre les digo que estas becas, o sea, muchas veces es más sencillo conseguir las becas de UTAS, de las mismas universidades australianas, pero que sepan que en España también tenemos algunas becas que es bueno que las investiguen y si pueden las soliciten, porque también hay una posibilidad, ¿vale? Con estas becas que les estoy mencionando. También, si lo necesitan, pues les vamos a mandar esa información para que las tengan más a mano. Y para empezar a trabajar en vuestro proyecto, bueno, tenemos una pregunta en el chat, Mariana, no sé si quieres revisarla, porque quizás el ingeniero industrial, sorry, I'm just gonna switch.
Yeah, no, I can get you.
Okay.
It's from Thomas, isn't it? Do you
Yes.
have something related with automatics for someone that comes from industrial engineering? Thomas,
Maybe,
we might want to have, yeah.
It's because maybe industrial engineering is not something that we call like that in Australia, so we might have to check the case.
Exactly. I was just going to say we might need to have a bit more of background on what exactly you've done, so we can try to guide you through what are the options, because it's a bit specific. Maybe if you want to share your question with Olga or myself, we can have a chat offline and see what sort of opportunities we can try to find for you.
Yeah.
Would be good to know if it's a bachelor degree level or a master or PhD or the other aspects that we might want to discuss. Okay, thank you.
Pues básicamente es eso. O sea, creo que ahora es el momento de poner las ideas en sitio, saber qué quieren, empezar a revisarlos. Obviamente, dependiendo, no hemos hablado sobre los costes de tanto el grado como el máster, porque todo va a depender del programa. Entonces, lo que queremos conocer es qué tipo de programa quieren hacer, si es bachelor, si es máster, para poder mandarles información, digamos, dedicada a cada uno de vosotros, ¿vale? Pues, de mi parte, just want to thank you again for your time, and a todos los asistentes, quiero que sepan que estamos tan cerca como un clic, que básicamente sabemos que Australia es un destino muy lejano y que necesitan ese apoyo y esa ayuda. Así que tanto desde el AE como sé que Mariana en Irlanda, pues nos va a ayudar a responderle todas sus dudas y que este proyecto sea lo más sencillo. Y yo siempre digo que lo mejor de trabajar en un proyecto internacional es que tengas expectativas reales de dónde van, de lo que hay, y bueno, para eso estamos nosotros. ¿Ok?
Amazing. Yeah, no, just want to say thanks, Olga, once again, for everyone who is attending this session today. LAE is absolutely one of the greatest partners that we have in terms of education agent. They are really, they know what they're doing, you know, they're experts in Australia, I would say. So you guys are definitely in good hands. And yeah, one more information, just really, if you're considering coming to Australia, either if it's for the University of Tasmania or any other university or any other school, just make sure you start your project as soon as you can, because with the Australian borders reopening, visa application, accommodation, flight tickets, health insurance, all those steps can take a bit of time. So you just don't want to leave for the last minute. Starting be organized, starting chatting to LAE, to Olga. That's definitely something you want to do as soon as you can. So it can be less stressful, this whole experience.
Yeah, I think you give the best advice. Yeah, we have to start with time because this is
exactly
gonna become crazy. We know that.
we know that. Yeah, it just needs to be patient and organized. That's all.
That's it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to attend. Gracias a todos los que asistieron a este evento. We see you in the next event. Thank you, Mariana.
Yay, amazing. Thanks, guys. Ciao.